Good morning. Happy Sunday morning, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Sarasota. We are here to support you in finding a personal relationship with the God of your understanding and discovering what you already know. My name is Ron Frost, and I'm a licensed spiritual practitioner here at the center. And I want to begin by greeting you with the word Namaste. Namaste is a Sanskrit word which means the divinity within me recognizes, honors, and blesses the divinity within you. Now, each week when we come together, we like to begin by reciting our vision and our mission. The words can now be seen on your screen, and feel free to join along. Our vision is empowering spiritual growth as a loving, inclusive, worldwide community. And now here's our mission. We teach science of mind principles and other life-affirming spiritual truths. We explore, learn, grow, connect, honoring all paths to God. We offer in-person and online weekly services, classes, workshops, affirmative prayer support, and other spiritual tools. We create opportunities for joyful social connection, community outreach, and service. And we celebrate the awakening of our innate spiritual magnificence. And now I invite you to join me in pausing and taking a few moments to go within. I encourage you to get comfortable, relax, close your eyes, and allow your inner mind chatter to slow down and your breathing to be gentle. Find your inner stillness as Bob Teesdale sets the tone for us with a Daniel Namod song, I Go Inside to Find My God.
I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this world as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. I will leave this day as it is, go inside to find my God. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is more than enough. Inside there is peace, inside there is joy, inside there is sacred love. I will leave this life as it is. Go inside to find my God. I will leave this life as it is. Go inside to find my God. I will leave this life as it is. Go inside to find my God. I will leave this life as it is. Go inside to find my God. Go inside to find my God. Go inside to find my God.
As I go inside and find my God, I know that I am this divine source, this divine wisdom, this infinite love, perfect wholeness, and divine grace. And no matter what's going on in the outer world, no matter what situation or circumstance, or whether it seems in disarray or division, I know there's wholeness, there's perfection. And that's the beingness that harbors within inside of me. So as I go inside and find my God, I am blessed with strength. I am blessed with divine perfection. I am blessed with infinite joy. And as I anchor into the divine source that lives within inside me, the infinite source, as I go inside and find my God, I know nothing can shake me. Nothing can set me off my path. Nothing can block my divine goodness, because it's already there. It's always been there. And as I accept and I allow, my heart fills with gratitude, knowing that the one true infinite source of love has always been with me all the time. And so it is. This morning, we are blessed to have back with us once again, Reverend Dr. Dennis Merritt Jones. And his topic is The Only Way Out is In. But before we hear from him speak, I want to share a few words about him for those who have never met or had a chance to listen to any of his messages. He's an amazing author. He has a number of books, including How to Speak the Science of Mind, Encouraging Words, Your Redefining Moments, The Art of Uncertainty, The Art of Abundance, and The Art of Being. He's also a frequent columnist for the Huffington Post and Science of Mind magazine, and he was the senior minister at the Center for Spiritual Living, Simi Valley, California, for many years. And then just a couple of years, he moved right up the road from us here at St. Petersburg, Florida. So we're blessed to have him close. He speaks at a number of Unity churches and Center for Spiritual Living, and his mission is guiding people to purpose, guiding people to purpose. So the message this morning from him is the only way out. The only way out is in. So we're blessed to have this message, to have him back. But before we hear from Reverend Dr. Dennis Merritt Jones, we're going to bring Bob Teesdale back for a Karen Drucker song called Let Go of the Shore. Here's Bob.
and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. You have all you need, it's all inside of you. Just close your eyes and breathe and know that you are safe. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. No need to make a plan, your heart will be your compass. Just lift your sails in faith and trust you will arrive. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Let go of the shore and let the water carry you. Let go of the shore, float into the mystery. Float into the mystery. Float into the mystery.
Looking back through the pages of my life, so young, so restless and full of
Hey, my friends, it's good to see you, literally, well, figuratively. It's been a while since we've seen each other in person, and I'm just delighted to be able to share sacred space with you today regarding spiritual community and how blessed we are to have the internet available to do this with. I think that these are, without question, as you would agree, challenging times when we're very blessed to be able to be in a position where we're able to stay connected even at a distance. So bless your spiritual community for having the technology and the willingness to put this together. And I'm knowing that you're there connected, even if your bodies are not there, your minds and hearts are with your community. And that's where it all begins. So the title of my lesson this morning is The Only Way Out is In. And what I'd like to do first is ask you how you're breathing. And if you have been with me for any length of time, you know that I focus a lot on breath, and that I ask that question at the beginning of every presentation because I want to invite the audience to step into the awareness of the present moment. And it seems to be that our breath tethers us to the present moment, which is where life is waiting for us to show up and be engaged into open to what is being offered to us. And so in this moment, this question of the only way out is in, what does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? To me, I have a question for you, another question, and that is, have you recently felt as if you've been sort of imprisoned by this unpleasant situation called COVID-19, and you couldn't find the door out because there is no door at this point? We're just all doing a holding pattern, waiting to be able to get beyond this situation. And so a a lot of us are feeling imprisoned by it. We're feeling confined and closed in, if not physically, emotionally. And that's challenging. There's no question about it. The thing that I want to talk to you about is maybe we've been looking for our sense of freedom in the wrong place for far too long. Freedom is a spiritual idea, it's an emotional idea, it's a physical idea. And so when we can incorporate all three of those concepts, that will actually be bringing our truth, our being, into our doing. You know, Krishnamurti wrote something powerful about this idea about freedom. He says, "In oneself lies the whole world, and if you know how to look and learn, the door is there and the key is in your hand. Nobody on earth can give you either the key or open the door for you except yourself." So the point is this: we're all familiar with the saying. You know, we talk about freedom and stepping into the greater expression of who we can be. We're all familiar with the term, "The truth shall set you free." But the question I have for you is, can it really? Does it really? And whose truth is it we're talking about? Yours? Mine? Ernest Holmes? Charles Fillmore? Jesus? Buddha's? There are a lot of different interpretations of what is true and what's not true. But here's the bottom line behind all of those truths that every great teacher has ever taught. This is the only truth that really is. Your consciousness shapes the lens through which you see everything in your life. And your consciousness is always absorbing new information based on what you embrace as your truth. That is what will set you free, your consciousness. Your consciousness is really a sum total of everything that you ever thought or believed to be the truth about yourself from the day you were born, poured into this vase, the invisible thing called our mind, and that has been what has shaped our lives. And sometimes we need to take a look what's in that vase, that invisible space called mind, and challenge what may be keeping us from being fully expressed, to being fully free in the moment. You talk about liberating the self. You know, I know that sounds very esoteric, to liberate the self. But now, perhaps more than ever, many of us seem to be in bondage to a world gone haywire. Think about it just for a minute and take a breath. Because what I want to talk about, it needs you to calls for you to be anchored in the moment. There's a lot going on right now in the world. Wouldn't you agree with that? I mean, you don't have to do much more than just turn on the TV set or the internet, and you'll see what's going on in the world. And the world is broadcasting that there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of disappointment, there's a lot of resentment. There's a lot of things going on right now that reflect some aspect of where we're looking, hold your breath, for our truth. You know, even the TV channels that we watch on TV, each offer a different view into the world, a different portal, a different view into the world. And notice, if you will, that you gravitate, as I do, towards certain TV programs, you know, because they reflect our perceptions or our beliefs. Whether that's CNN or Fox or, you know, CNBC, it doesn't matter. But you notice you gravitate towards certain ways of thinking because they support your idea of what is. And sometimes we get locked in that idea of what is to a point where we don't see there's a larger what is available to us. And that's called liberation of the mind. The filter or lens through which we view life has everything to do with what we see. That's our perspective, what we see. And it has everything to do with our perceptions, which is what we know. Our perspective is what we see, and our perception is how we see it, how we interpret what is. And those are several of the things I want to talk to you about this morning, is the idea that your perception and your perspective need to be in alignment. And when they are, you'll discover consciousness feeding both in a way that causes your life to be awakened, aware, and opened. And that's really a powerful place to be. Consciousness, as I said, is a collection of all your beliefs. That's your perceptions of life up until this moment in time. And so this moment in time is offering each of us an opportunity to challenge, to look at what's working in our lives and what's not working in our lives, or our perception of it, and challenge it and see if there's place for growth, for renewal, for embracing something new, and maybe letting something go that's keeping us confined in that sense of imprisonment in our lives. Even now, there's many invisible bars holding us in right now that we allow to define our experience, and we don't necessarily have to do that if we're willing to listen to something greater than ourselves and ask for it to help us set ourselves free. There's a great story that I'll share with you that really illustrates this very well. This is a story I tell in my book, Encouraging Words. There was once a man who was unjustly, he thought, thrown into prison. And he sat there for months and months and months waiting for the prison to set him free. And they never did. The guard was there every day, fed him his food and water, and kept him locked in the prison cell. And so every night when the guard would go to sleep, the prisoner would lean against the cell door and push on it and force it and do everything he could do to try to get it to open. And he did this for months. And then finally, one night, in just exasperation, he drops to his knees. And he says, "Dear God, I've tried everything in my power to push this door open. Please, I need a miracle. Show me the way out." And no sooner did he ask that than a voice came from within and said, "Listen, sometimes the way out is in." And no sooner did that happen than a wind billowed through the jail cell, and a wind gently blew the cell door open inward toward him. And of course, he sat there and watched that and realized, I've been pushing against these bars that have been holding me in so long. I didn't make space to realize that the guard never locked the doors at night. He just pulled it closed towards him. And all I had to do is stop pushing against it and step back and let it open inward. There it is. Sometimes the way out is in. And the moral of that story, of course, is that the key is you. More succinctly, the key is our mind and our ability to be conscious and aware and present enough in the moment to see what appears to be the problem through our eyes, and be willing to rely upon some inner guidance to help us reshape how we see what is. In other words, the real key to our freedom, irrespective of what it is you think is holding you in bondage now, whether it's the social distancing or COVID-19 or politics or all the other things that are going on the surface of life that may be holding you down or holding you in, the reality is it's consciousness that keeps us imprisoned. That's a tough nut to swallow. It's always your consciousness that determines your perspective, the angle by which means you see what is in front of you. And we all know that what you see is what you get, correct? Yeah. Consciousness backed by belief. See, the thing is, consciousness is not just thoughts. It's the beliefs underneath the thoughts that hold it in place as being true. So mindfulness does not mean that we begin to engage in what is in the moment and start judging it. Mindfulness is just making ourselves available to see what is in the moment. Awareness, on the other hand, sets our perception in motion, which interprets what is and colors it in and fills in all the blanks. So perspective puts us in the present moment. Perception allows us to analyze the present moment and to color it based on our beliefs, our history, our prejudices, our favors, our favoritisms, everything that makes us human. And so sometimes we need to learn that while our perspective may be such and such, our perception needs to be altered too. It needs to be challenged. Okay? So sometimes, as the story goes, the only way out really is in. The way out of our problems is to turn within and begin to look at where our perceptions and perspective originates. Okay? The point being that irrespective of the problem which may have you feeling imprisoned, can you think of one or two things that have you feeling imprisoned at this moment? Maybe it's not the social distancing and COVID-19. Maybe it's a relationship issue or a health issue or a financial issue. Lots of places that we feel locked in and imprisoned in our life. But the point is, being irrespective of the problem which may have you feeling imprisoned, your consciousness is the key to your freedom from that situation. The master key that fits into any challenge you may encounter is consciousness. Now, that doesn't automatically mean that what is changes. But with a shift in consciousness, we see it, we perceive it through new eyes, which means we have a new experience of it. And that in itself can set us free from bondage of it if we're willing to see it through new eyes. Consciousness really is everything. And here's the point. You have always had the power to set yourself free. Take a breath. I know. So we a lot of us, we're our own worst enemies. That we get tangled up in our mind, and we can never carve out that space to find out that sometimes the way out is the way in. To go within, to commingle, to breathe, and to be more conscious and presently aware of that space within us that is larger than us, the self itself. You realize how amazing it is that you can observe, you can have a thought or have a feeling and then step outside of that thought or that feeling and look at it from the outside and analyze it and to challenge it if it doesn't serve you. Man, there's no other creature on the planet that has that ability to analyze self-awareness. It's that important. It's that important. And so the point I want to make is the old adage, as within, so without, is really quite accurate. The way in is the way out, and your inner beliefs cannot help but shape your outer circumstances. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? Shake it like this if you do, and like that if you don't, like that if you don't care. Of course you believe that. You wouldn't be watching this program if your spiritual community didn't support the ideas that you believe. The teacher Jesus boiled it down, his whole ministry down to two things. The kingdom of heaven is within, God and I are one, and it is done unto you as you believe. Not as you think or wish or push against the cell door, but as you believe it is done. Many people are fooled by appearances. After being subjected to a condition not to their liking, just like our man in the story, they tend to react vehemently and push against the problem, either through argument, they argue with it, or they deny it, or they turn to avenues of denial that take their mind out of the situation, whether it be drugs or food or name it. There's so many ways we can deny the appearance of what is. But when we come back from that denial, it's right there, waiting for us to deal with it. And so we can push against the problem, and when it doesn't give away to our rants, we hunker down in the muck and the mire and the circumstance, convincing ourselves that we're helpless victims. And guess what? We can only be victims for so long, and once we become aware that we're a victim, we have a choice to step out of it. We're all entitled to have, at some time in our lives, be victims. The victimhood happens, but it's a choice to stay stuck in being a victim. And that includes what's going on around us right now in so many ways. So here's the question that I have for you, and I want you to breathe as I ask it. What have you been pushing against lately? While you think about that, I'm going to take another drink of water. What have you been pushing against lately? For some of us, that's legion. There's many things. For others, maybe more evolved, we don't push against anything because we have surrendered. We have given up to the trust of knowing that something within knows the way out. See, the pitfall of helplessness is that it eventually breeds hopelessness, the feeling of being out of control, stuck in the darkness of a frightening situation with nowhere to run. Let me repeat that. The pitfall of helplessness is that it eventually breeds hopelessness. And when we enter into hopelessness, part of us just gives up. We give up. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out, but you have to turn within. Driven by that feeling, when we had that sense of hopelessness and helplessness, we then kind of mindlessly, to tell me if you wouldn't agree with that, we rush to a conclusion based on what appears to be that which we've been wrestling with, and we build a story around it to justify it and reaffirm, and it just simply perpetuates the condition because we've accepted it rather than rise above it. We have just given into it, like the man sitting in the jail cell, giving into it until he is smart enough to stop and breathe and say, "Show me the way out, Father." And of course, the voice was, well, sometimes the way out is in. You see, the irony is the entire time that we're struggling, that we're in that place of denial or we're in that place of fretting and worrying and feeling helpless and hopeless, the entire time, the way out that we're seeking, it lies right before our very eyes. It's there. It's there if we have the eyes to see it. And here it is. Our consciousness helps us see it. Our consciousness, the sum total of our beliefs, brought to this moment to define our truth. The truth will set you free, but the truth lies within the consciousness of what you believe to be the truth about yourself, about life, about the way it all operates. So as Krishnamurti infers, the key is knowing how to look at what lies before you and to learn from it rather than be imprisoned by it. Let me repeat that. The key is knowing how to look. How is the perception. How to look at what lies before you and learn from it rather than be imprisoned by it. So the operative words here are look and learn, and to do so is to add new content. When we look and learn, we add new content to our consciousness, and sometimes that requires jettisoning old perceptions and old beliefs that no longer work for us. Are you willing to take a look at your belief system and see what's not working for you and to let it go? I know sometimes those beliefs are what justify our situation where we are. There's something comforting in being able to justify our limitations where we're stuck. So here's the question. Will a shift in consciousness magically change outer conditions? Perhaps so, perhaps not. But the one thing that will absolutely change is your perception, how you see the problem, which introduces a new cause, which in turn will change your experience of it. The new cause must bring with it a new effect. So because the theme of this story is so universal and timeless, it's safe for us to say that at some point, everyone watching this has had or will have something that stands between themselves and the life they dream of, which is just on the other side of those invisible bars called our belief system. With this in mind, I want to offer you 5 mindfulness practices that will assist you in moving toward a greater sense of freedom in your life now. I'm going to give these to you quickly, and then we'll close with a meditation. The first mindfulness practice is be present in the moment. The very first step in setting yourself free is taken the instant you become present in the moment, because it allows you to see clearly what is happening. The second mindfulness is this: get out of denial. It's impossible to set yourself free until you honestly acknowledge that you're being held captive behind the invisible bars of your current consciousness. The third mindfulness practice leads us to the idea that we have to learn how to challenge the problem. Once we're present to see it and we own it, now we have to challenge it. Courageously examine the beliefs that you currently embrace and see if they correspond with your problem. It's a matter of cause and effect. If they do, you must challenge them. If they do, if your beliefs correspond with the problem, you have to challenge your beliefs to change the problem. We know that. As within, so without. And that leads us to the fourth mindfulness practice, which is be open for guidance. Rather than wasting precious hours and weeks and days and months and maybe years of your life pushing against the problem, which a lot of us have done. I have to tell you, I've done it. That only gives the situation more power when we push against it. We know that. What we push against, we give more power to. The alternative is to make the divine surrender. Not my will, Father, but thine. Not to the outer condition, but to the inner solution. The fifth mindfulness practice is after waking up. Often the greatest challenge is to remain awake. The challenge is that once we waken, the ego mind wants to put us back to sleep as quick as it can. The collective consciousness is very seductive in continually trying to lull you back to sleep, into complacency, into an invisible prison cell of ambivalence, which is where many of us are spending a lot of our time. Remembering that your mind is the container, for the beliefs which form your consciousness is a lifetime practice. Be mindful of what thoughts and beliefs you allow to pass through the hallowed gates of your mind into your belief system. As my mom used to say, stand guard at the temple gates. Be aware of the thoughts that you're allowing, the beliefs that you're allowing in to take hold in your mind, because they can hold you in prison. But the new thoughts, new beliefs can also free you. So in closing, I would say this to you. Knowing how to look at what lies before you at any given moment determines what you'll see. Knowing how to look at what lies before you, how to look at it, is what sets you free. The only way out truly is in. Perspective, come to the moment, look at what is, own it. Perception, define it. Help you interpret it, what it means to you, and then introduce new beliefs to challenge it. The only way out truly is in.
There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all by myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you're discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, got to let it go, let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, and I am one with God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, and I am one with God.
Thank you, Reverend Dr. Dennis Merritt Jones, for that brilliant message. That was perfect. And Bob, the song "I Release and Let Go" by Ricky Byers Beckwith was a beautiful ending to join in with that message. So thank you very much. Here at the Center for Spiritual Living Sarasota, we want you to know that we are available to support you in knowing the power and presence of your spiritual essence. We offer support through prayer, inspiration, encouragement, and opportunities for virtual and community connection. We really appreciate your financial gifts and support of us so we can continue to offer support to you. There are 3 simple ways to share your gift. On the screen, you'll see our website where you can select the donate button, which allows you to contribute via PayPal or credit card, or you can mail a check to the address shown here on our website, or set up automatic contributions through your own online banking. Our website is www.cslsarasota.com. And now I invite you to take your virtual gift in your hand and place it over your heart, blessing it as you share it, and know with me that my gift goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper. And the divine flow returns it to me multiplied abundantly. And now please join me in our offering affirmation shown on your screen. I give thanks that I may share of my good, my love, and my support. Thank you so much. Would you like prayer support? Do you have a request? On our website at www.cslsarasota.com, notice the green prayer request button, which allows you to send your prayer request. Our 5 licensed spiritual practitioners, Kathleen Frankert, Nicole Leeds, Sean Scanlon, Jim Grove, and myself stand by ready to know and affirm spiritual truth with and for you, no matter what the situation. Did you also know that these gifted practitioners are also available for spiritual coaching sessions by appointment? These offer the opportunity to explore a deeper understanding and practical application of the spiritual truth that eclipses your problem or challenging issue. For more information, go to our website and select the staff tab, and then select practitioners on the left-hand side. Would you like news of upcoming events? Sign up for our weekly e-newsletter here on our website, or click our Facebook or YouTube link. I have one announcement this morning. So popular every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. is our spiritual living circles via Zoom, and they're open to all. These are facilitated by our own spiritual practitioner, Jim Grove, and they are a great time to connect in community. These circles are informal, inspiring, thought-provoking, and most of all, they're free. Email Jim Grove on the email address that you see on your screen, and you will receive this week's Zoom link, as well as discussion questions and a copy of the Science of Mind article to be discussed. This week is going to be the topic, Live from Love. So please join Jim. Now, as we conclude this sacred time together, let us set the intention, move forward into our day and week ahead in peace and in love. And I invite you to join in singing the closing song, Let There Be Peace on Earth. The words are now on your screen. Thank you for being with us, and have a wonderful week, everyone.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be with God our Creator. We are family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my solemn vow to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth,